Hey guys, Racing here, back today with another video. Now, yesterday was iRacing's new Season 2 build for 2021. Included in this new build was a load of new updates for cars, for tracks, including new damage models, a new physics model on the IR01, and new AI racing, including GT3 AIs, which is what we're going to be testing today. But also, there was a new piece of content released, which is this. It is the Hockenheimring. Of course, one of the main German tracks hosts the German Grand Prix, and has been known for its fair share of incidents over the years. But today, we're just going to be going out and seeing what the new AI are like, and how Hockenheim is, and how it is to drive, and just basically just going through and testing what's been released in the new build. So without further ado, let's head out to the track and see how Hockenheim and GT3 AI are in iRacing. So we're about to head now out for our first taste of iRacing AI through the final two corners here at Hockenheim. And the leader has bolted. Green flag's dropped. Let's go see what these AI are all about. So up to turn one. As you get cut across by the Mercedes there already. Oh, a little biff into the back. Rubbing is racing, as they say. From a little bit of testing, the AI take no prisoners. You've got to give them so much space. They will sort of just dart across in front of you. Someone up the middle. Little bit of contact there with the Audi. Car seems fine though. And now sitting in the slipstream with this Ferrari up ahead. Through the long straight here. Say it's a straight, not really a straight. It's got a long old curve to it. Sitting the toe, he's going to go defensive. Doesn't really give me the room. AI really slow through the hairpin. So am I as I go completely wide off the track. We've got Kevin on our right. So you may notice also from the relative there's some pretty cool names. AI yields the position as the Audi's super slow through there. Can we hang it around the outside? Not quite. Take third early for the traction. Still get a bit of oversteer out of there. And now into the stadium section. Got to scrub up more speed than you think for this right-hander. It's pretty tight on exit. And then just hug the inside through here. So much more grip on the middle. So as it banks to the middle. Flat through this left-right little complex here. AI sort of in a train up ahead. Not really trying to overtake each other. And there's one lap. Done. 15-minute race here. So not too long. Now it's turn one for the first one at full racing speed. Down to third. Can we try and make a move on the Audi into here? He's trying to make a move on the McLaren instead. I'll take those places. Thank you very much. Now we've got a McLaren ahead of us. So you may also notice on the relative that there's some pretty cool names. iRacing have basically picked people from the community, picked staff to represent AI. Very late on the brakes there. Send one up the inside of the McLaren. It's a bit rude, but it's only an AI at the end of the day. That's the joy of AI racing. You don't have to feel guilty about taking someone out or ruining anyone's race. Because at the flick of a switch, you can just restart. But should we talk about the track for a bit first? Hockenheim is a really cool track. It's been in the pipelines for iRacing for a while now. BMW is going to go defensive here. Can we get the switch back on him? Maybe make a move into the hairpin. Oh, not quite. Cuts us off. But this version of the track's pretty cool. Obviously, it's not fully laser scanned, this track. Due to the old world situation that happened last year, they couldn't actually visit the track to basically get scans. So they asked around in the community, and they ended up using LiDAR data, etc., to create a track that's up to scratch with the rest of their content. BMW super defensive there. One thing I've noticed, the AI will try and defend every corner even if you're not in any danger of making a move. Which means they get terrible exits, and you can just get them on the exit. But included in the Hockenheim the track, you get 6 layouts, none of which are the historic layout, which for some reason people thought would be coming. The old super long, 3 wide through the hairpin there. Sorry, I keep getting distracted by these AI. They're having a pretty good battle actually. Duck into the slipstream of the Ferrari. Can we make a move up the inside? Well, we can. Can we get the BMW as well? He runs us wide. Clear. Oh, little big kick of oversteer out of there. Traction control's really kicking in. But as I was saying, there's 6 layouts. So you've got the Grand Prix layout, which is what we're on now. Then there's the short layout, which is just the stadium section. There's a few layouts which take out some of the parts. And there's one layout which I believe is like an outer layout, which is the front straight, the stadium section, and it brings it back through here using the drag strip, which I'm sure the F1 drivers love to revisit. Nearly full opposite lockout there. The BMW's going to have a run at us. Is he going to try and send one up the inside, or is he going to think about it? Carry a lot of speed through turn 1. There's quite a lot of the exit you can use there as well without getting an off track. But as a track, it's pretty fun. Promotes good racing. It's quite a fun track to drive. It's not boring. You can use a variety of cars around here. This is basically in every series now. Everything from IMSA to the PDS-ESS, which is now the Pure Driving School European Sprint Series, which was formerly known as ILMS, which is basically WEC rules. So we've got 8 minutes left. We're already 4 laps in. Let me try and get onto the back of Jason. I've noticed the AI, they take the defensive line, but once they take the defensive line, obviously it compromises their exits, so you can get them on the exit. I haven't got them turned all the way up to max because this is my first race against the AI. Grinding on that sausage curve there. So I wasn't really sure what to expect. I reckon that from a first impressions point of view, they're pretty decent. They're a lot better than AI in most simulators, to be honest. I've done quite a lot of AI racing in Assetto Corsa, and these have definitely been the most cautious AI. Obviously with damage being on as well. But it feels like you're in an online race. You've got to treat it like an online race. In something like Assetto Corsa or Project Cars, which I would usually drive AI in, they sort of, you go into there and you just sort of like bash them about a bit, they'll just jump out of your way. In this, they're properly configured to defend, and you actually look at the stats for the iRacing driver tars, so to speak. They all have different levels of stuff. So some have higher aggression, some have higher skill, some have higher like track usage, and some will extend the track more. Oh, big hit from the Lamborghini there. Don't know what this blue Lamborghini was doing. It's suffering with a little bit of damage now. Car doesn't seem too bad. The steering's a bit bent. Probably a bit down on top speed. But I'm not sure what that Lamborghini was doing. But that's something that, well, you get in online races. Everyone makes mistakes in online races. So why should the AI be perfect as well? You can't fault the AI for doing stuff that, well, people do in real life and in online races. Really feel the damage through this last sector here. Lamborghini sends on at the inside. He's not giving us much room here. Going to yield to position through turn 1. See if we can try and get him on the exit. Little tap in the back there. God, that Lamborghini sounds good. Who's going to be later on the brakes? It's going to be him. A little bit more contact on the front left for good measure. But he makes the move stiff. And now we've got to watch out for Aussie Greg Hill. in our mirrors. We're already up to 13x. I am treating this a bit more like an AI race than an online race. Sit in the slipstream, hard on the brakes. Can we get the cut back here? Or can we get around the outside? Not quite. But as given Aussie Greg Hill chance to catch back up. Again, the AI going defensive into every corner. As soon as you win any sort of distance off them, they do get very, I want to say, scared. But remember that corner opens up a bit more. That corner's always been a bit of a struggle for me. Damage really ain't helping through these right-hand corners. Ooh. Getting on the curb there wasn't a good idea. Just right in our mirrors. Oh, big understeer through that right-hander. Car really don't want to turn right now. Greg has got through. Can we try and get him back though? Let's see. We got 4 minutes left. Through turn 1. Big hit on that inside curb. Again, you can really extend the outside there. For once, the AI didn't go defensive. This car really don't want to turn right anymore. We're going to sit in the slipstream, see what we can do. We are suffering with damage, of course. But again, damage is the reality of iRacing. For something like this, it's a really good way to get new people acclimatized to racing on track. I mean, for people in rookies, it can be daunting jumping straight into a multiplayer race and being around loads of other people, especially if iRacing is the first sim you've picked up. I mean, luckily when I came to iRacing, I've been sim racing for 2 years, but for someone who's just picked up a wheel and wants to jump into iRacing for the first time, this would be a great way to learn at least the basics of racecraft. And because the AI, they feel like you're racing in like just a pretty clean split, to be honest. I mean, first lap wise, this is cleaner than any race I've ever started in. I mean, nobody crashed out on the first lap, which is unusual. Well, I say that, except me. But that's just a common occurrence for me being an idiot. But it's a pretty good place just to pick up, and honestly, I'm having quite a lot of fun here. It's, if you're just sort of between races, between sessions, and you just want to have a little practice, then hop onto the AI. It's worth a go. So obviously, you can do the AI in any track, I believe, any track that you own. So it could also be a pretty good way to test overtaking spots, test different lines through corners when there's other cars around, for an endurance race coming up perhaps. I believe that the AI is still limited only to GT3s and Porsche Cup, but I may be wrong about that, so don't take that word as the only word. If I'm wrong, I'll flash up on the screen now. But as a base, they're pretty decent. I mean, honestly, I haven't found a fault with these AI yet. Yes, they're a bit aggressive, but you can turn that aggressive down if you want. I think the aggression's quite high, the skill's still quite low. But, I mean, I'm matching their pace pretty well, even with damage. So from my skill level, I could probably go up a few percent on the AI. And there's you can also change the skill difference between the AIs. So you can have like between 40 and say 60%. And it will just evenly distribute the AI between that. You can set qualifying sessions, practice sessions, all the usual stuff. White flag's out now, 1 more lap. Can we get Aussie Greg Hill? Might have to be a last lap lunge as we take a really long, good run out the first corner. Stick on the outside, he gives us no room whatsoever. Someone into the hairpin. He's going to have the better exit. We're going to have the slipstream. Come on, give me that toe. We're now starting to see the effects. Come on. It's going to have to be a lunge into the hairpin. He goes to the middle. Going to take the outside. Oh, I don't want to turn right around the hairpin. Gets us back through. Might have to be a lunge into the stadium section somewhere. Flat through here. Use all that inside curb. Bit later on the brakes. Bit too late on the brakes. Back gets loose. You carry more speed through here than you think. If your car wasn't damaged. Again, grinding on that sausage curb. There goes the floor of the car. Got to make sure not to get on that gravel on the outside there, otherwise you will end up in the wall. Don't think we're going to get him here. Haven't quite got the pace. Last 2 corners to go. Late lunge maybe? Not quite. Traction control kicking in around the last corner. Ah, not quite as we come across the line. Finished P8 though. But for our first impressions, this was really fun actually. I'm sure that if I hadn't had the damage, I would have been able to get a bit of a higher position. But from a starting point, I've really enjoyed this AI. They're pretty decent. I found no faults with them. You can really race them pretty well. And yeah, I would definitely say give this a go. There's something to practice racecraft and learning AI and etc. etc. It's a really good place to visit. Of course, iRacing is a multiplayer game. And I was a bit skeptical of why they would put AI in, being a multiplayer based game. But after actually giving it a go, my mind has been changed and it's pretty decent. I've really enjoyed this. But anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this video. Thank you so much also, by the way, for 75 subscriptions. Wow. Wow. The reception on my last video was crazy. Over 1.2k views. Is absolutely insane. We've over doubled my subscribers, and my goal of hitting 50 by the end of the year has been absolutely smashed. So thank you all for watching, and yeah, hope you have a really awesome rest of your day, and see you all next time.